This
project.
conference will now be recorded.
I've already been a part of a Vim project. It was a support project, but to brief
Okay.
and enhance my knowledge, so I'm willing to go for a training.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. I'll share my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Today I'll give a brief introduction about Vim. Okay. And from tomorrow onwards, we can have deep dive sessions on Vim.
Yeah. Chandra, please can you introduce yourself so that I can know something about yourself, like what is your
Yeah.
experience and all those stuff like.
Okay. Myself, I'm Chandra. Total, I have 7.5 years of experience on Vim. I
Okay.
have
Okay.
expertise on Vim, RBA Server, Enterprise Scan, VCC.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You can able to see my screen, right?
Yeah, I'm able to see your screen. Yes.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. Okay. I'll start with Vim introduction. Okay. Basically, like this vendor invoice management is developed by OpenText company. Okay, this is a component which we will be installing it on SAP. Okay, mainly this OpenText vendor invoice management will be used for processing vendor-based invoices. Okay, let it be non-PO or PO or down payment. We can process all these vendor invoices through this vendor invoice management. Okay, with OpenText Vim, one can better manage the workflow of the invoices. Like what and all the advantages of using this OpenText Vim is like uh, actually this OpenText Vim component will be deploying this component on SAP. Okay, since all the modules, for example, if you take or finance, everything will be getting processed over SAP. Since this OpenText Vim is closely integrated or coupled with SAP, it will be easy to manage the process. Okay, that is one of the advantages by using Vim. And another advantage of using Vim is like we can automate the processing of the invoices. For example, if you take any large organizations, okay, we'll be having thousands or thousands of invoices that needs to be processed on day-to-day basis. Okay, so in case if you are using this Vim, every process will be automated. I mean, there will not be any manual intervention is required, and even payment to the vendors will be happening on time. There will not be any issues. Okay, and this OpenText Vim will be operating on everything will be based on workflow only. Okay, so we can we can do the adjustments in OpenText Vim based on the business scenarios. Like we'll be having various scenarios, various requirements from the business. It will be varying from client to client. Okay, so with by using this OpenText Vim, we can handle those requirements very easily. Okay, so since all the process is automated, the payment to the vendors will be happening on. I mean, there will not be any delays in payment to the vendors, and we can create various types of invoices. Getting the and we in Vim we do have the different kinds of reports. Like we do have OpenText has provided central reporting. There we do have different kinds of reports like productivity report, casing report, key exceptional analysis report. Like that, we do have various reports. We can check the status of each and every invoice, like currently with whom it is pending, what is the current status. Everything we can track easily by using this OpenText and keep checking on various validations. I mean, we do have different kinds of validations in OpenText. Okay, So basically, like all these validations will be happening automatically, like in the background. There will not be any manual interventions will be required.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Till that, till this point, you are clear, or do you have any doubts?
No, Chandra. I have just a basic, just like first we have to go through that OCR scan, and then we have to go through
Correct,
all the
correct,
rules we have to set out, and after that rules there is a stage, like you have to you have to authorization, like in the PO. When we create a PO, we have a particular authorization level at a manager level,
correct. Like for in case of non-PO invoices, we'll be having approvals once that all the business rules have been completed.
yes,
For PO,
yes.
document will get posted, and it will check for blocked workflows like quantity or price discrepancies. System will be checking for the discrepancies. In case of any discrepancies, it will trigger the blocked workflows.
Yes. I used to work on this type of things only. There used to be issue of the quantity issue, or
Correct,
price
correct.
issue is
Right.
there in the PO. So I used to work on these type of incidents in the support project of mine.
Okay, okay, got it. So we'll be discussing on each and every topic in detail. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Since this is an overview session, I'm giving brief overview about like
Not a
what is
problem.
being.
Yeah, not a problem. This is
And
like yeah, Chandra, I just wanted, right now there is a lot of boom for Vim right now, because
correct,
like as with the pandemic, many people are my main intentions to
moving to the
join this.
digitalization.
Yeah, because like people are demanding more, and with into a single resource, they need a lot of things inside that. So I'm trying my level best to cover out as many things into this Vim session, Vim training as
Okay,
much as
okay,
possible.
okay. No worries.
Yeah.
Okay, like having a highly configurable design allows Vim to accommodate various business scenarios and cater needs to various organizations. Like in Vim, like based on the business requirement, we can handle each and every scenario in Vim. Okay. For example, if we want to modify the validations, we can write our own logic, custom logic as per the business requirement. Okay. In case if you want to modify the process, like there will be different kinds of process like parking and trigger pre-approvals, post-approvals. We do have those kinds of scenarios. Even we can handle those scenarios as well. Okay, in Vim. And Vim is a packaged business solution that is developed and tested within coordination and partnership with SAP. Like this Vim component will be deployed on SAP. Okay, all the process will be happening at SAP only. Only the RBA server and OCR will be deployed onto different servers. Okay. For RBA server and OCR, we need to have separate standalone system or VMwares. We need to deploy those components on separate Windows VMware. Okay, Windows desktop, remote desktop servers. And we'll be integrating RBA server and OCR with SAP. Okay, so that whenever the documents comes through different channels, the archiving will happen. RBA server mainly will be used for archiving the images, for storing the data there, and OCR will be used for extracting the metadata from the invoices. Like metadata in the sense, like on invoice will be having different kinds of fields, right? Like invoice date, gross amount, currency, like that will be having different kinds of fields, right? We'll be extracting those fields, and
Okay.
OCR will be extracting those fields, and all the information will be sent to SAP for further processing. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
and Vim provides values to customers in process efficiency, visibility, and compliance. Like since all the process is automated and everything will be happening through automatic way, lot of manual work can be reduced and process efficiency will be increased. Okay. When we will be having visibility and complaints, like we can check the status and everything, we can track everything, like what is the current status of the invoice, with whom it is pending, who is processing. Like that, we can check each and everything through Vim. And Vim is an add-on to SAP ERP system. The majority of the functions and processes runs inside SAP ERP system. They said like we'll be deploying this component on SAP. So all the functions and process will be running inside SAP only. Like it can be either SAP ECC or through S4HANA. If it is SAP ECC, then we'll be having separate set of versions. We need to check that version compatibility through there will be one product compatibility matrix which will be provided by OpenTest. Okay, we'll be downloading that product compatibility matrix from Knowledge Center. So when you are working with real-time projects, okay, each project will be providing you separate Knowledge Center credentials for OpenTest. Okay, from there you will be able to download configuration guides, administration guides, user guides, everything. Like for each and every component, there will be a certain set of documents which will be available. You can download all those documents from Knowledge Center. Okay, that is one thing. And second thing is like there will be product compatibility matrix. Okay, based on the client requirements and SAP version or something, you will be checking the compatibility, like with which version it will be compatible. Based on that compatibility versions, you will be deploying those Vim versions. Vim, or you will be selecting that versions, RBA Server or OCR. Okay.
Okay, Chandra. Okay. So
And
Chandra, yeah, please. Sorry,
yes.
please continue. Please continue.
Okay, like one more thing is like since this Vim component is deployed on SAP, okay, functionally we'll be having I'll be dealing with functional part. Okay, like what and all the configurations which we'll be having in Vim, what is the process that will be involved in Vim for processing the vendor invoices, what kind of approvals will be having, how we will be configuring the approval workflows, and what kind of central reporting, like what kind of reports we will be having in Vim, how we will be configuring those. Like I'll be explaining all this functional part. Apart from this, in order to work on custom requirements, we need to have ABAP knowledge as well. Okay. So, for example, if there is any custom requirements which needs to be handled, okay, for that we need to develop the logic or build the logic using ABAP, like similar to Java or C or C++. For SAP, it is ABAP. ABAP is the programming language where the complete logic will be built over SAP ABAP. Okay. So my recommendation would be is like, in case if you want to get if you want to switch to working with OpenTest Vim, my recommendation would be like along with gaining this functional knowledge, you need to learn SAP ABAP as well, so that it will be very easy for you. For example, in case if you are getting some issues or something, we can do the debugging and we can find the root cause and all very easily, in case if we know ABAP.
Yeah, Chandra, I'm planning to go for Vim and ABAP. I had watched with someone else also, so I'm going to take the ABAP classes also together.
Correct.
Like,
so you need to practice on ABAP sessions, ABAP as well, so that in case if you know ABAP, you will be strong at technically, so that you can handle both functional and technical. You will be becoming techno-functional. Okay.
Yeah, Chandra, now we have to be as much as possible, as much knowledge as possible. Like we need a lot of things. Company needs a lot of things into one single candidate right now.
Correct.
Yes,
that is my recommendation.
Yeah,
you are asking something.
Yeah, Chandra, I was asking like in which version we are going to do, as like in ECC 6 we are going to see, or in S4HANA we are going to see the whole Vim configurations, and like
Uh,
how we are going to.
Actually, even I didn't get that system. Okay, I'll ask Subbu to provide access to that system. I'll check, and based on that, mostly it will be SAP ECC version only, as
Okay,
per my
okay,
knowledge. So
okay.
I'll check that system, and basically might be tomorrow I can give a demo of the system tomorrow.
Yeah, Chandra, please,
Even
it would be great. And just let me know, please, just let me know like what you're going to cover out in the trainings, like what are things you're going to help out with, like, are you going to provide us the training recordings of the trainings, or any notes are you going to support with, and the post content details, that
okay,
all that
okay.
stuff.
So coming to the training part, I'll be dealing with the functional part. Okay. For example,
Okay,
if you take RBA Server and OCR, I'll give a high-level overview about those components. But since we
okay,
don't have access to RBA Server and OCR, I can't show you over the demo, like how the product will be and how the configurations will be done. But I'll
okay,
explain at high level, like what and all the things will be available at RBA Server and OCR. Okay, and
okay,
I'll be
okay,
explaining that part. Coming to Vim, like I'll be explaining like what and all the various channels that will be involved in Vim. Okay, and
okay,
I'll be explaining different types of configurations that will be done for maintaining these channels. Okay, and
okay,
even I'll be explaining business center component. See, business center component is an optional component. Uh,
okay,
Sometimes
okay,
some clients will be using that component and some clients will not be using. For example, if you
okay,
take 7.5 versions, it is not
okay,
mandatory to use business center. Okay, but
okay, okay.
even I'll be explaining those configurations, but I'm not sure like if the business center component is available in demo system. Okay, but I'll be
Okay,
covering the configurations related to business center as well. Okay, that is one thing. Apart
okay,
from incoming channels, I'll be explaining you about process types. We'll be having different business rules or process types, and I'll be
okay,
explaining how these business rules or process types will be configured and what are all the various process options that are available. Okay,
okay,
and
okay,
apart from that, once these business rules, process types, process options have been completed, I'll be moving up with NPO approvals. For non-PO invoices, we'll be having approvals. I'll be
okay,
explaining you how these approvals will be configured and how the approvals will be uh, triggered for non-PO invoices. And coming to PO invoices, it will be blocked workflows. Okay, I'll be
okay,
explaining about like how these workflows will be configured. Mainly, we'll be using standard workflows only, like which will be provided by OpenText. But I'll explain you like the configuration, like what and all the configurations that are required and how it is working.
okay,
And
okay,
once that is completed, like we'll be discussing about central reporting in center, what
okay.
and all the various reports that are available. Okay,
Yes.
so I'll be explaining all the functional configuration things which will be
Yes.
available at Vim. Okay,
Okay, okay, okay. And like,
and
are you going to provide the recordings and all those stuff like?
recordings, I think Subbu can provide you like what and all the recordings that I mean each and every session will be recorded, and basically you can collect those recordings from Subbu. Okay.
Okay,
And
okay,
coming to the materials, I'll be preparing small PPTs with 5 to 6 slides, okay, on each and
okay,
everything. I'll be
okay,
sharing these PPTs to you.
okay, 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 okay. Yeah, okay.
Coming to landscape, your good name is Pallavi, right?
My name Pallavi. Yes, Pallavi.
Okay. And coming to the landscape, like when you are working with any project, okay, for example, when you are working with real-time scenario, whether it can be support project or whatever the requirement can be. First, once you are deployed into project, first what thing you need to check is like you need to understand the landscape of the business, like what they are using, okay, what are all the versions they are using, okay, and what are all the different components they are using. In Vim, we will be having different components. Like for example, if you take enterprise scan, some clients will be using enterprise scan for scanning the paper-based invoices. Some clients they will not be using enterprise scan. Enterprise scan, through enterprise scan, we can scan the paper-based invoices, and it is one of the channel where the invoices will be arriving into Vim. Okay, like that, we need to understand like what are all the components that are available with Vim, and what are all the versions the client are using. We need to understand this thing. We need to understand the landscape. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So coming to Vim, the process will be happening like this. Okay, we'll be receiving the invoices via various channels like email or through OAWD or through enterprise scan or through IDOC, I mean through Ariba channel or something. Like we'll be receiving invoices via various channels. Once we receive these invoices, okay, like document ID will be created at Vim. Images will be archived into the RBA server first. Okay. Once this images got archived into the RBA server, one unique ID will be generated. RBA document ID will be generated, which will be mapped to the doc ID. Doc ID is nothing but that is the unique ID which will be created for Vim process. Okay. So we'll be referring the doc ID in the entire process of Vim. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So initially images will be archived into the archive server. Once this archiving is done, then OCR process will happen. Okay. Basically, this OCR will be extracting the metadata or all the information from the invoices, and it will be sending that information to Vim. Okay. Once we receive the data from OCR, the actual process in Vim will happen at SAP event, like business rules, like metadata validation will happen via business rules. Once all the exception handling have been completed, then in case of non-PO invoices, it will go for approval, or in case of PO invoices, it will get posted, and in case of blocked workflows, that blocked workflows will get triggered. In case of non-PO invoices, once the approval is completed, then the document will go for posting. Once the posting is completed, then it will go to FI for payment clearance. Okay, this is how the entire process will happen in Vim. Right from the scanning, starting step will be scanning, and ending will be posting. Like once the document got posted, the vendor process, Vim process will be completed.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Any doubts till this part?
No, Chandra. Everything is clear. Clear. It's clear.
Here we'll be explaining like in the later sessions I'll be explaining you about like what are the different channels that are available in Vim, how we will be configuring those channels, okay, and how the archive document types or archive links will be created for each and every channel, okay, and how the OCR integration will happen with this from SAP to OCR, okay, and how we'll be configuring these business rules, okay, and for handling these exceptions, we will be having roles, okay, Vim roles. So I'll be explaining about like how the roles will be configured.
Okay.
And coming to approval, I'll be explaining about like how these approvals and everything.
Okay.
Mainly, I'll be dealing with functional part. I mean, for technical part, you need to learn ABAP as well. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to learn ABAP also. Okay.
Correct. That will be in case if you are very strong at ABAP, then working with Vim will be very easy. In case if you know functionally how the process will be happening.
Okay, it was just a guesswork. I was just doing a guesswork to learn the ABAP and the Vim together. But it by chance today I got a good knowledge from your side that ABAP and Vim combination is a very good combination.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, please carry on.
Coming to the RBA server, like mainly this RBA server will be used for storing the information. Okay, like images, invoice images and all. Okay, so we'll be creating the archive link at SAP. Based on this archive link, it will be used for retrieving the images or for storing the images into the archive center. Like everything will be happening based on this archive link. Okay. We'll be integrating this RBA server with SAP. There will be configuration in OSE0T code. Okay. There
Okay.
we'll be
Okay.
providing that RBA server name and we'll be integrating this SAP with the RBA server.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And it is used to save documents from Vim workflow to the archive center or to retrieve the documents from archive center for a Vim process. Mainly like, for example, when we are processing any invoices at SAP, we need to view the invoice image as well. Like business users will be viewing the image. Based on that, they will be processing that document. Okay.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so we can retrieve that image from the RBA server, or in case if we want to store any additional documents, then we can store those documents into the RBA server via that archive link.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Archive link document type is assigned to a workflow that will be started when a document with a given archive link document type is uploaded by OCR or the OAWT code. So basically, like we do have different kinds of channels. For example, if you take email channel, user will be sending invoices through email. Okay. So whenever we receive an email with attachment as PDF or TIFF, okay, automatically like the workflow will be triggered for archiving those images, and based on that, doc IDs and everything will be generated. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This is archive server. Like since mostly we will not be having access to this server, but basically like see first when we are doing the Vim implementation, we need to install this archive server and we need to do certain configurations at archive server end as well. This archive server mainly it will be installed on remote desktop server, okay, on Windows
Okay.
server.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
once we have done all the configurations at RBA server end, then we will be proceeding relevant configurations, like what are all the configurations that are relevant for archiving. We will be doing those configurations at SAP end, and we will be integrating SAP with this RBA server. Okay.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
how the process will happen. But since we will not be having access to this RBA server, I will be covering at high level, like
Okay.
uh, like what and all the things we will be doing at RBA server.
Okay. 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 It is just it is a bit idea
Yeah,
that
I'll
you
be
would be
providing
giving
you an
right.
idea. Correct.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Coming to the business center enables receiving incoming documents, including capturing of relevant data feeds, processing of incoming documents inside SAP ECC. Mainly, like as I said, like this business center component is an optional component till Vim version 7.5. Okay, but if you take S4HANA versions, okay, I mean starting from Vim version 16.3, this business center component is mandatory. Okay, using this business center, what this business center will do is like it will capture all the information that is coming from various channels. For example, we will be receiving invoices from different channels, right? Okay, we can track all those information using this business center. Okay, from business center workplace, we can track all those invoices, and business center can be connected with various inbound channels, be it paper, through scan, or fax, or email, or IDOC. Like we'll be viewing all this information in business center. Okay.
Okay.
For example, in case if we are not using business center, we'll be having component called IDH, like incoming document handler. There will be checking the status of each and every invoice. Okay,
Okay.
like
Okay.
from which channel it is received, what is the current status. Okay, everything it can be checked. Okay. And currently the following solution accelerators are available. The main advantage of Business Center is like, in case if you are taking Vim, Vim will be used mainly for processing the vendor invoices, right? So IDH, incoming document handler, will be having only the information related to invoices. But in case if you are using this Business Center component, then through via Business Center, we can process all kinds of documents like sales orders, purchase orders, purchase requisitions, delivery notes, HR documents, remittance advances, order confirmations. We can process different kinds of documents via Business Center. Okay. For each and every thing, we'll be having respective solution accelerator. Okay. For example, for invoices, we'll be having invoice solution accelerator. Similarly, we'll be having different solution accelerators for processing different kinds of documents. Okay. But mainly, as we are, our focus will be on invoices, processing of invoices. So I'll be covering like what and all the configurations that we'll be doing at Business Center for processing the invoices and the invoices.
Okay.
You got this point, right? But I'm not sure like whether this component is available or not. In case if it is available, I'll show you like how the configurations will be available on SAP. Otherwise, like I'll be explaining you about like what and all the configurations that will be involved in Business Center, how we will be doing those configurations.
Okay.
Coming to Business Center capture, like using Business Center capture, as I said, like similar to RBA Server, we do have Business Center capture where we need to install this component on a separate remote desktop server. Okay. So mainly this Business Center capture will be used for extracting the information from the invoice. Okay. Like for example, we'll be having various fields on the invoice, like invoice document date or gross amount, currency. Like that, we'll be having various fields on invoice. All those information will be extracted using this Business Center capture. Okay, once all those information has been extracted, it will be sending that information to SAP.
Okay, Chandra. Okay.
It mainly used for extending the Vim capabilities to automate capturing of mission printed paper invoices. Like, what is the main advantage of using this Business Center capture or OCR is like, for example, in case if this information has not been captured, then all the information needs to be entered manually by AP processing. Okay, AP processor needs to enter each and every field by seeing that invoice. It will be a time-consuming process, right? So that is the reason OCR will minimize those efforts. So all the information that is printed on the invoice will be extracted and it will be sending that information to you. So that mainly it will reduce the efforts that are required by the AP processor. Okay. AP processor can validate the information that is being sent by Business Center capture. For example, gross amount, currency, all those things. These things will be validated at SAP end by AP processor team using that business rules or whatever the things will be configured in SAP.
Okay.
Nice data capture effort and human intervention.
Okay.
And these are the various reports that we'll be using at Vim. Like we do have Vim Analytics report where we'll be tracking. It is a kind of dashboard, okay, where we can track each and every invoice. Okay. And coming to Vim Workplace, it's nothing but users inbox where users can process the invoices and or act upon the invoices. And SBWP is nothing but standard SAP inbox provided by SAP. I mean, we can process the invoices either through SBWP or from using this /opt/vim underscore WP workplace report. Okay. Basically, like mostly like most of you will be using this report /opt/vim underscore WP. Okay. And /opt/SPRO is nothing but all the configurations related to OpenTest will be doing those configurations all here.
Okay.
And /opt/vim_786 is nothing but document incoming document handler ID page, where we will be tracking all the invoices that are coming from different channels.
Okay.
In case if we are using Business Center, then these are the keywords. So which, like all the configurations related to Business Center will be done in this keyword /OTX/PO771_PNG. And Business Center inbound workplace /OTX/PXE_W. And for maintaining the substitutes, this is the keyword. And approval configurations in the chart of authority, approval details, those things will be maintained in this /OPT/AR_CO. These are the various keywords that we'll be using frequently while processing the invoices.
Okay.
And apart from this, we do have certain clients, like for example, if you take enterprise scan client or open testing using Windows VR, these are the clients that will be available at end user. Okay. Basically, like enterprise scan will be used for scanning the paper-based images, and using open test image in Windows VR, it will be used for viewing the TIFF invoice images.
Okay, Chandra. Okay.
Those two are the end user clients, which will be deployed on end user machine.
Okay.
That's it from my end. Like in case if you have any further questions, like
No,
basically our training will be carried out for 25 days, I mean 25 hours. Like I'll be explaining all these things on every day.
Okay, Chandra. Okay.
If you have
It
any
was
further
really
questions,
great.
you can let me know.
No, Chandra, everything is clear. Like a lot of things got clear today to me. Thanks a lot. It was really a nice session.
Correct. Coming to the Vim version and all, even I didn't got access to the demo system. Even I need to check it from my end, like what is the version that is available, what is the version that they have deployed on SAP. Based on that only, I can provide you some information. Most probably, like I'll ask Subbu to give me access to the demo system. I'll go through that, and tomorrow I'll explain. Like, even I need to check it from my.
Okay, Chandra. Please do let me know which version we are going to set up the classes for.
Sure.
Okay, Chandra. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.